Out here, everything hurts. You want to get through this? Do as I say. Now pick up what you can and run.
Welcome back to the Movie Mind. Today, we're diving into 3 mind-blowing fan theories about the Mad Max franchise. Could Max actually be insane? Is there more than one Max? Get ready for a wild ride as we break down these theories.
My name is Max. My world is fire and blood.
Let's kick things off by rewinding to where it all began. In the first Mad Max, our guy Max is a cop trying to keep the peace in a world on the brink of chaos. But then, tragedy strikes. His wife and son are murdered by Toe Cutter's biker gang. This brutal event shatters Max's sanity. Fast forward to the Road Warrior, and we see Max as a lone wanderer in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. But here's the twist. Some fans believe that from this point on, everything we see is happening in Max's fractured mind. Let's talk about some weird inconsistencies to back this up. In Fury Road, Max has flashbacks of a little girl instead of his son. Plus, Max seems to age very little while the world around him goes from bad to worse. These oddities suggest that the Mad Max world isn't a straight timeline, but a series of delusions in Max's head. Overcome with guilt and trauma, Max imagines himself as a hero saving others, because he couldn't save his own family. Remember the opening narration from The Road Warrior? It calls Max a burnt-out, desolate man, haunted by the demons of his past. What if this isn't just poetic, but a literal description of Max's mental state? According to this theory, Max's adventures are his mind's way of coping with his failures. The people he saves, like the feral kid or Furiosa's wives, represent his endless guilt and need for redemption.
You want to get out of here? You talk to me.
Our next theory has been around a while, but it's a pretty good one. It suggests that Tom Hardy's Max in Mad Max Fury Road is actually the feral kid from Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior. The idea is that the feral kid grew up, took on Max's iconic leather jacket and V8 Interceptor, and eventually became the Max we see in Fury Road. And honestly, there's some compelling evidence that backs this up. First, remember that wind-up music box? In The Road Warrior, the original Max gives it to the feral kid. Then, in Fury Road, we see Hardy's Max with a very similar music box, which one of Immortan Joe's wives finds while rummaging through the war rig. Also, the last vehicle we see Max driving in The Road Warrior is a fuel tanker. Previously in the film, he crashed the Interceptor when attempting to flee Lord Humongous's gang of marauders. Could members of the village have retrieved the Interceptor, fixed it up, albeit unlikely, and pass it on to the feral kid, and that's why we see it back in Fury Road? One more thing. Throughout most of Fury Road, Max is more of a silent, brooding character, communicating mostly through grunts and very few words.
That's bait.
And when he finally does introduce himself, he says,
My name is Max. That's my name.
Something about the way he says it feels off, like it's the first time he's saying those words. It's almost as if he's trying to convince himself of his identity. Mad Max franchise creator and director George Miller weighed in on this theory in an interview with IGN. In the interview, Miller says that it's a great theory, but doesn't work because the feral child is the narrator in The Road Warrior. When Miller is informed that the theory takes this into account, and that the events of Fury Road takes place during the feral kid's journey to becoming the tribal leader and narrator we hear in Mad Max 2. He acknowledged that it's interesting, but in many ways the story is in the eye of the beholder. It's pretty cool to know that Miller appreciates the creativity behind it and is happy for it to be part of the conversation.
I am awaited in Valhalla!
Our last theory is pretty epic. Max is one of the horsemen of the apocalypse. This idea suggests that Max embodies death, destined to wander the wasteland, bringing change wherever he goes. One key point is Max's agelessness. In the first Mad Max, the world is on the brink of collapse. By Fury Road, society has been in ruins for what seems like generations. Yet Max looks almost the same. His uncanny survival skills and role as a catalyst for change fit the archetype of a horseman. Max doesn't start the chaos, but he's always in the thick of it, pushing the narrative forward and bringing big changes for those around him. So if Max is one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, who are the other 3? It's the 3 warlords. Immortan Joe represents pestilence, with his followers being unusually deformed and sickly. He himself is kept on life support devices of some kind.
by eternal, shining and chrome.
The bullet farmer represents war. He's ultra-violent and loves all things combat-related. Lastly, the people eater represents famine. He's larger than other wastelanders and represents gluttony. This theory paints Max as a nearly supernatural figure, destined to roam the wasteland, dispensing death and guiding survivors to new beginnings. So, there you have it, 3 wild theories about the Mad Max universe. Whether you think Max is truly mad, there are multiple Max Rockatansky's, or if he's one of the mythical horsemen of the apocalypse, the Mad Max franchise never fails to generate neat theories for movie fans. Do any of these theories hold up? Have you heard any other cool theories about Mad Max? Let us know in the comments below. What should we dive into next? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to The Movie Mind for more fan theories. Follow us on all platforms for the latest updates and exclusive content. Stay curious, Movie Minds.